Good things come in small packages, at least that's the case for the Scope keyboard. A manifestation of less is more, this mechanical deck does away with bells and whistles to provide one scalpel of a machine. Compact and reliable, it doubles down on the essentials to brilliant effect. Design. At first glance, the design of the Scope is rather understated. Despite being a full-size keyboard with the numpad included, the overall size of the Scope's body is kept impressively compact. This is thanks to the fact that there's barely any space between the edges of the keyboard and the keys that run alongside the top, bottom, and sides. The lack of wasted space, as well as the absence of additional configurable keys, helps keep the Scope down to a manageable size, without it feeling cramped or uncomfortable. Its compact size means you can comfortably carry it around with you while you travel. However, it does also mean that the Scope doesn't come with a wrist rest, unlike other keyboards at this price range. Although the design is one of the most simple we've seen with a gaming keyboard, it doesn't mean the Scope looks boring. And while it doesn't have dedicated keys for media playback and the like, the function keys at the top of the keyboard have secondary features that can be toggled while pressing the FN key. There's also a wider than usual control button, which makes hitting it easier in frantic gaming sessions. The F12 button also doubles as a stealth key. Pressing it instantly mutes audio and hides all apps, which Asus claims gives you quick and easy privacy. Software. The Scope can be customized with the help of the Armory 2 software. You can also create and use up to 5 profiles, which Scope can store on its flash memory. This software is good enough for basic personalization needs, and for syncing lighting effects with other Aura-compatible devices from Asus. However, it is nowhere near to what the competition offers regarding software for RGB accessories. Performance. The Scope comes with Cherry MX Red, Brown, Blue, Black, Speed Silver, and Silent Red switches. This gives you greater choice and lets you configure the Scope to fit your play style and preference. When using the Scope for day-to-day use, such as typing, the keyboard feels comfortable to use, while the Cherry MX Red switches, our choice, feel comfortable and responsive. It's also a bit quieter to type on than other mechanical keyboards we've tested, but it still has that satisfying click when you press down on the keys. This responsive and tactile feel to the Scope translates well to gaming, where the keyboard easily keeps up with our frantic tapping as we play. The solid build quality, that we've come to expect from Asus's gaming peripherals, further enhances the feel of the keyboard as we played. I also like to keep things simple when playing, so I didn't miss the additional macro buttons while using the Scope during games. If you do want to assign macros, you can do so using the Armory software, which will also help you configure any other compatible ROG devices. Luckily, you can also record and assign macros on the fly using keyboard shortcuts, rather than having to trudge through the software. Software issues aside, the Scope is an excellent performer when it comes to games, giving you a straightforward, yet dependable experience that feels fast and responsive, while also being comfortable. Verdict. There's a lot to like about the Scope's simplicity. The lack of additional buttons and overly fancy design means you get a compact keyboard that nails the basics. It feels comfortable to use, is responsive when playing even the most frantic games, and there's a few nice gaming-centric features as well. Just because the design is understated, it doesn't mean the keyboard looks boring. Plus, if you have other Aura-compatible glowing peripherals, the Scope will fit right in. However, the Scope does lack a few features that similarly priced keyboards have, and the design pales in comparison with the Rocket Vulcan 120 AMO. Still, if you're invested in the Asus ROG peripheral ecosystem, or are just looking for a no-nonsense mechanical gaming keyboard that has a bit of design flair, then the Asus ROG Strix Scope is an excellent choice.